What are the three most important dates that are important in determining whether or not you're entitled to Social Security disability benefits? First is the date last insured. And that's really important because you have to show that you were disabled prior to your insured status ending. Now, when you worked, you've contributed money from your paycheck that goes into the Social Security Disability Trust Fund. When you look at FICA, I is income. So you're going to see that deduction that's going to go to your insured status. And normally you have to work at least 20 out of the 40 last quarters, of course, depending on your age. So that's the date in which you have to be found disabled under the Social Security disability rules. Generally, what happens after that date is irrelevant in terms of the judge or Social Security determining your insured status. Now, your insured status will generally end after you've stopped working for at least 5 years and you're no longer making contributions. But that's one of the first questions that a lawyer is going to ask you, or a representative, is what's the date last insured? And you can find that out by calling the Social Security Administration. Now, the alternative, of course, is you might be eligible for SSI, but that's an asset-based program and hard to meet. So first question is, what's the date last insured? Now, the next important date is going to be basically what's the date of onset. In other words, what's the date that you're claiming that you were disabled? I've discussed in earlier videos the importance of that, and it has to be supported based on any post-disability earnings that you might have. So you have to be under SGA if you're working, or you have to have medical support for the date that you picked. Now, you may say, I stopped working because I couldn't work anymore, but you didn't get treatment for a year. Well, that's going to be too bad, so sad, because the Social Security Administration needs basically diagnosis, ongoing treatment, so that they can determine your medical condition has lasted at least a year, is severe, and address the other elements of the 5-step sequential evaluation. So it's really important that your medical records are supporting the date that you're claiming that you're disabled. And there are times when, as a Social Security lawyer, I have to tell my client, look, it's just not there. We need to change this onset date to another date. Now, the next important date is the date of entitlement. And that's the date that the Social Security Administration agrees that you meet the 5-step sequential evaluation and you're entitled to your Social Security disability benefits. Now, that date of entitlement will impact the amount of any back benefits in terms of how far you can go back. And of course, it will impact your ability to get Medicare. You have to be a 5-month elimination period, if you will, where you don't get any benefits, and then you have to get Social Security benefits for 24 months before you become eligible for Medicare. So those are the 3 important dates in any Social Security disability claim. If you have any questions about your rights to Social Security disability benefits, call me today at 727-894-3188 for a complimentary consultation.